back.
He's back.
He's back. He's back.
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Back. Hello, boys. I'm back.
Hello, world. I'm back. What is going on, world? We are back and we are live tonight, hanging out. We're going to be reacting to some stuff on the internet. I'm breaking my fast here, so I got a nice salad and some smash burgers. And I thought, if I'm just going to be here eating this stuff and hanging out and looking at stuff on the internet anyways, why not do it with you guys? And what we're also going to do here as well, too, is we're going to review this article that was part of the Hormozi experiment. So if you guys don't know, May 1st, coming up here, I'm taking on a crazy 6-week bulking experiment that we're calling the Hormozi experiment. So I'm very excited about this, to take this on. But in the article that Alex wrote, he was discussing this article in this study about if you go high carb, you better go really high. So I want to dive into this article. I read it a couple of years back, and the other day I just skimmed through it again. But I thought, why not do it live here with you guys? We're going to dive deep into this article and hopefully get a good foundational understanding of the purpose of what I'm about to do here with this crazy 6-week bulking experiment, where I'm going to be eating 800 grams of carbs a day and doing 2 workouts a day, 6 days a week. It's going to be absolutely nuts. I'm very excited to get it going. But yeah, today I want to do something different. I usually, at least in the past, I'm now back to YouTube here, but I've done some of these kind of more hanging out here live streams, and I wanted to give it a shot, see if it's something that you guys like, if you guys like hanging out here. So if you are live and you're watching this right now, I'd appreciate if you just let me know you can hear me well. And then also I want to test a video here, because last time I was live, I tried playing a video and no one could hear it. I hope I fixed the problem. So if you guys are watching live right now, I really appreciate you. I'm going to play this video and please let me know if you can hear it or not.
You can build your dream physique. Coach Greg, he says halfway there. I don't like that. I don't like him having realistic expectations, realistic goals, realistic standards, not comparing yourself to other people. I don't like that message. I just want to be jacked. And so just to hammer home the statistics.
So that's all I'll play of it there. But yeah, if you guys could let me know, can you hear that video? Because I got a bunch of stuff that I want to do here. All right. I can hear you. I can hear videos. Sounds good. All right. Awesome. Appreciate that, guys. So yeah, I want this to be interactive. So if you guys have anything you want me to look up, to go over, it's been a while since we've really just hung out together. And again, I'm going to munch on some food here. We're going to react to some stuff on the internet. One thing that I'm very excited to introduce in a couple months here is I'm going to be doing the human experiment. So on my Instagram right now, I'm starting to follow a lot of these unique type people out there in the world. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, go follow, give it a follow. I stay a little more up to date compared to my vlogs. So basically highlighting what I'm eating as a human experiment and trying to share all that with you guys. I showed, and this is what maybe I'll show you guys a little, anyone who's hanging out here on the live will get to see, but I just did my grocery haul for the Hormozi experiment. So here's a little sneak peek, but for you guys on the live, I'll probably show you some extra pictures and go over things a little bit. But yeah, I just stocked up for hopefully a good few weeks of this Hormozi experiment. As you can see, 4 big boxes of mini wheats, skim milk, all that type of stuff. But yeah, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me along on there so we can stay more up to date with each other. But let's see if some of these guys pop up in the feed here. And I want to know if you guys find any fascinating, unique people out there. Like obviously like David Goggins, he's insane. He's a psycho. He's in his own echelon. And I want to study and watch and follow along these type of people. But like David Goggins is mainstream now. I want to start finding these fascinating, unique people when they're still up and coming and they're still like growing. So if you guys know any fascinating people I should be following, as I mentioned, coming up in the next couple months here, I'm going to start this human experiments where we're going to really dive in and follow these people's lives and follow them along their journeys. Like you guys are hopefully following along my journey here as the Hungarian experiment. I want to try to like create a network of this. So, Hugo Lopez, what's up? Appreciate you being here in the live stream. Says update on stomach vacuums. I actually have that coming in an upcoming video. So can I still do the stomach vacuum? I guess you guys will find out in an upcoming video here. But yeah, let's take a scroll through. We're going to react to some stuff here. See what I'm following on Instagram. It's been a while since I've really been on the Hungarian Experiment Instagram account. So Sean Baker, I follow him there. I'm a secondhand vegetarian. Cows eat grass. I eat cows. I like that. That's funny. This guy's very
advantage in
interesting.
life. Number one, they eat their body weight in protein every day. Number two, they go to the gym at least 4 days.
See if we can start that.
A week. Number three, they eat majority meat, fruit, and vegetables for every meal. Number four, their snacks are all high protein, like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and beef jerky. Number five, they start every single day with about 50 grams of protein. Number six, they don't drink alcohol. Number seven, they drink water with every meal. And number eight, they cut the junk food to 10% or less. People who live like this have an unfair advantage in life. Number one, they eat their body weight in protein every day.
Yeah, give Ryan Fish a follow. I think his content's great. Been following him just for a good like month or two here, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully this is better for you guys. Metabolic Mike is another great follow on Instagram. He's very up to date with the science and he's always sharing studies. I find him to be very like unbiased for the most part. Haven't really found him being too like, when a new study comes up, he's just discussing the study. He's not sharing like his opinions. Like he adds his opinions after, but great follow. He also does his, own great stuff that you guys can see here. He's like training hand strength and stuff. So really cool. Let's see. I need more stuff to react to so I can eat here. What are you guys doing? You guys doing intermittent fasting right now? I just broke my fast. It's 9:14 p.m. here in London, Ontario, Canada. Just got back from the gym. I did a nice back and arm day. Yeah, buddy. Feeling the pumps, very nice. I don't know what's going on with Instagram here. Oh, Squat University.
Those can definitely help you build a strong core, but to build a stable core, you need drills that enhance spine control and your ability to limit excessive or unwanted motion, which in part come from these very small muscles deep inside your body next to your spine. Today, I want to show you one of my favorite drills for this that only requires a lightweight, a band, and a PVC pipe or broomstick. Start by securely attaching your band to the weight. I'm using a light dumbbell here, but you could definitely use a weighted 10-pound plate or even a light kettlebell. Then wrap the band around the PVC pipe and place it on your back like a back squat. You'll notice the weight starts to bounce around. That's the magic of this drill. Slowly start to slide the PVC pipe out to the side as much as you need to until your core starts to activate to limit your body tipping over. Then start to take some steps back and forth, and your body has to react to the swinging.
This is like offset training. I did these experiments for, I think, like 2 to 3 months, probably back in like 2017, 2018, where I did squats and I would do like a 45-pound plate, or maybe it was 25-pound plate on one side and nothing on the other side to see how that did. And very interesting. Very good for function. Phoenix Rising says, I'm starting a 3-day fast on Monday. That's awesome, man. Great job. Do you fast often? Is this something once in a blue moon for you? How often do you do fasting? Let's keep reacting here. Oh, here's Hormozy. Just popped up as an ad. This is perfect time for me to give a plug. Don't forget, guys, I'm going to be doing the Hormozy experiment beginning May 1st. So make sure to go check that out. You can find details on my main Hungarian experiment page. Oh, that's not the right way to get there. But anyways, go check out some of them recent videos. May 1st, we begin the Hormozy experiment. Sean Baker, what's for steak? What's for dinner? What's for steak? What's for dinner? Them. Steak again. Me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Phoenix Rising, been fasting since 2012. That's awesome, brother. That's about same time-ish for me. So we've been doing it for about a decade, eh? It's pretty crazy. A decade's gone by. So crazy. Let's hear what Goggins has to say.
Entire life, you know, whether it be my skin color, whether it be I'm outspoken, I'm introverted, so I'm misunderstood. You know, I live my life the way I live my life, so I get why a lot of people can be rubbed the wrong way by me. I put a video on Whitney Cummings making fun of me and also her man. Was it funny? I don't care. But this is what I do care about, man, is that the video didn't talk about politics, didn't talk about race, gender, creed, nothing.
Who cares?
Hey, got a question here from one of our friends who has what do you call
Elliot Hulse. Oh my. Again, I haven't been on this Instagram account in a while. And he's so young here. Jeez. Any of you guys old followers of Elliot Hulse?
social anxiety disorder. Says he wasn't diagnosed, but he struggles with being in social situations, particularly for the past 2 to 3 years. What happens is he anticipates an engagement with someone, and his heart rate goes up, his hands get real sweaty, and then worst of all is his face turns bright red. And it happens to him when he meets new people, so on and so forth. So
next. Man, Sean Baker's just going crazy with the memes, eh? Sir, shall I fire the thermonuclear cannon? No, they deserve something much worse. Unleash veganism on them. Haha. I forgot, I haven't been liking any of these.
Yeah, but how do we really know?
Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a quick test to see whether you should be squatting with a narrow stance or a wide stance. It's super easy. All you have to do is 90-degree stance.
What Chris is describing here is an at-home version of the hip scour test, something physical therapists like myself use to assess anatomy, specifically the angle at which the femur aligns with the pelvis. Here's an example. When this patient of mine
I've been redesigned.
performed a squat with the shoulder.
Go follow Squat University if you guys aren't. Like, it's legit. As you guys see here, like, my feed, like, there's no garbage on this. It's all good shit. I think, like, I run, like, my business that I have, like, I run probably 15, I'm just going to guess 15 Instagram accounts, 5 to 7 YouTube channels. So I'm on social media all the time. And I think people who shit on social media, like, in my opinion, it's a tool. And this is what I discussed before I kind of came back on my YouTube channel here, but in the past, but everything in life is a tool. It's all how you use it. There's nothing bad. There's nothing evil with anything. Social media can be amazing, and it can just be full of facts and information that's helping you get better in life, and funny memes and stuff, of course. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything bad about social media. I'm hoping we come across one of these guys that I want to be following here as the human experiments. Sean Baker's definitely a guy I want to cover as a human experiment because he's doing amazing at documenting his journey at eating only meat. Crazy. Oh, Phoenix Rising says, yeah, it's nice to speak to you again as well too, man. Appreciate you following along and supporting the channel all these years. Maybe we could do an interview again. Yeah, for sure. I want to prove some stuff. I want to actually accomplish some things before I maybe collab and do stuff here for a little bit. But yeah, you're a follower of Elliot Hulse. Yeah. I used to like check his videos in the beginning, like earlier on, and just been keeping an eye on him. Haven't been a huge like fan or follower.
Make these signs that said, they had the big X's, like no, you know, like you're not allowed to. And they said no Facebook, no Instagram, no Snapchat, no Bumble. This was like week 3 of Bumble or something, some ridiculous early, maybe first year. I can't remember at this point. And we would post those all over the universities. So there was this association where it was like, wait, I can't do the things I really want to do. I want to sit in class in Snapchat. I want to sit in class in Instagram. What the hell is Bumble? And we were essentially seeding this psychological curiosity. And then we we were actually sending.
All right, whatever.
Hey, what's up, guys? Elliot Hulse here, and I haven't uploaded a video to this channel in quite a while, but I'm just going to hit the ground running. We're going to begin today with a question that I have for you.
This is how one company
I think that's enough of that. Let's go check out YouTube,
I don't know if you
see what's going on over there. Again, it's been a while since I've been on this YouTube account. Run a bunch of accounts here, but we'll just even see what's going on the feed. Frank Tufano, what's Frank Tufano been up to? Any of you guys know Frank Tufano? Follow him.
It is a beautiful Christmas morning, and I figured I'd talk to you guys about what my life was like before YouTube. It's something I've never really gone over.
Oh, this is from 4 years ago. Okay, we're not gonna watch this. Yeah, anyone following Frank Tufano? The guy, he was like heavy carnivore, and then he kind of changed back, where he got like liver damage or something. Jesus, what's going on with his eyes? Yeah, I know too. Like he created like a meat business, like where people could get like raw and good grass-fed beef and stuff from him. And he was having crazy problems, people breaking into his place and stuff like this. What I currently eat in a day? I must have watched this one already. Let's go pick a video here and we'll check in on Frank. Yeah, he does these reactions. Let's see him. Let's react to him reacting to a video. What do you guys think?
8 Sleep pod cover. It's a liquid cooled mattress topper.
But yeah, what's up, guys? Got a few more people here in the live stream. What's going on? We're just hanging out, reacting to some stuff as I break my fast. Stopped eating yesterday around like midnight, and it is about 9 p.m. right now. Just got home probably about 45 minutes ago from a back day, back in arms, making them gains, and then just broke the fast here. We got some smash burgers. I've made 4, and we're down to 2, 2.5, 1.5, and a nice big salad. And then outside of that, we're reacting to some stuff. And then once I'm done eating here, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into this article about if you go high carb, you better go really high. And this is kind of the basis of and the fundamentals behind me eating 800 grams of carbs during this Hormozy experiment for the next 6 weeks. So going to check that out. But yeah, let's react to Frank Tufano reacting to this girl.
Are you ready for 75 hard? It just sounds stupid, doesn't it? It sounds like some real CrossFit nonsense. Oh, 75 hard. It's oh god, where do people come up with this stuff, bro? Let me read you guys what this is. So you got to follow a diet for 75 days. It doesn't matter what diet, it just has to be a diet. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts every day, so a lot of working out. One of which must be outdoors.
Is it just me, or does he look
progress
cross-eyed?
picture?
It looks like he's cross-eyed. Does something happen with this eye surgery thing? See, this is what's fascinating. Is like someone gets surgery done and they share their life on the internet. Like 10, 15, 20 years ago, you couldn't see this in depth into people's lives and actually study these people and people who are documenting and sharing so much. Okay, I got to see this here. What is going on with this? We got Simon here. What's up, Simon? What's going on, man?
The Great Outdoors Comedy Festival is coming to London, July 19th to 21st.
Let's see your comment here. Simon says, you're doing OMAD. How do you hit your daily protein in such a small eating window? Isn't there a limit of how much protein your body can process in one sitting? Well, that's actually interesting. And it's an article that or a study that I think I may cover in an upcoming video at some point. My main intention here for the next at least 6 weeks during this Hormozy experiment is, in the past, I created a lot of videos where I would like tell you guys things like do intermittent fasting because look at the benefits and look at this scientific study. And while I'm also like trying to prove it on myself as a human experiment who's taking this thing on. And I feel like less and less I just want to prove it now. I have my theories. I think it's working well. Like I'm getting results, doing a very different lifestyle than the typical bodybuilder, eat 8 meals a day type lifestyle. And that was one common thing that a lot of people brought up. And even one guy like Dr. Bio Lane Norton, he would bring up, well, your body can only process so much protein in one sitting. But the thing is, like, that's based off the current science that we have. It doesn't mean that literally in a month later or a current study is being conducted or the people aren't even thinking of, hey, why, like, how do we conduct a study to see this? Or like, not a lot of people did intermittent fasting like 10 to 20 years ago. So why even do a study about doing OMAD, right? And there are scientific studies out there, but I also believe too that a lot of scientific studies are flawed. There's they're very weak in nature. And then we tried to conglomerate a bunch of weak studies and be like, well, this is why this is a good thing or this is a bad thing. And it's still very, very weak. But I think it's a good basis to then have people like Frank Tufano, people who are documenting their lives, who are putting openly and honestly sharing while they're doing these things. The same with me. Like I've been doing intermittent fasting for the last decade. And for 6 years, I heavily documented and shared that. But this is a long-winded way for me. I'm trying to find the study. But recently, a study has come out that contradicts that you can only have like 20 to 30 grams of protein of absorption per meal. And it heavily goes against that and says you can eat a lot more than that. And it basically justifies doing OMAD. So I'm trying to see if I can find it here where I happen to save it. It's a little hard doing this live while also doing this and trying to find it as well too. But I'm going to see if I can find this study. And if we can, we'll maybe even look a little bit into it here. But yeah, appreciate the question, Simon. I think that's a great question. I think the body is heavily resilient and adaptable. And if you regularly eat 8 meals a day and you're getting all your protein in, and then you just drastically switch over, it's not going to absorb the same way it did absorb. But the more you adapt it and it gets used to a certain style of eating, it's going to work out longer. And your body will adapt to that. Okay, here's the study. So a new study, make this big here. Apologize, guys. This is my first kind of live stream where I'm hanging out with you, so fumbling around a little bit. But new study, a very large protein intake, so 100 grams of protein, which is very close to my 4 smash burgers that I eat almost every day right now as I'm leaning down. This is basically like my go-to meal. I make 4 of these. They're probably about 5 ounces or so. I weighed them once and I was like, all right. And it came to about 114 grams of protein. And I eat that about over the course of half an hour to an hour. Right now, it's taking me about an hour and a half because we're doing this live stream. But here, this new study came out, a very large protein intake after exercise, which I just did. Like I just did an hour and a half, 2 hours of back and arm training, fasted. So after exercise results in a larger and longer 12-hour anabolic response than a low protein intake, so 25 grams. This challenges the previous ideas that you can only utilize up to 40 grams of protein in a meal. So I haven't dived into this study myself. Maybe we'll, again, do it here live one day. But this study apparently makes it more legitimate because for the last 10 years, everyone was saying against that. Oh, your body can't absorb that much protein. But it's like, man, I don't know what to say. Like I have been for the last decade, just been eating like intermittent fasting, doing the way not prioritizing it. I bodybuild as like a hobby, and it's because it's my enjoyable physique thing to do. I have no intentions of like going to stand on a stage or do anything like that. And I have other priorities in life, like building my business and creating content. Like I really enjoy creating content. So what we do for my business, and that's what I want to be the best at. But I want to know when I step in the gym, I'm getting the best muscular results that I can, because I don't enjoy sports. I don't enjoy cardio and stamina type stuff. I really enjoy lifting, and I enjoy seeing results happen. But that's just like my opinion there. And I enjoy not having to worry all day long about like, okay, I got to eat this. And then like 20 minutes later, or what it feels like 20 minutes later, is I got to eat another meal and then another meal and another meal. Like I did that when I was younger, and I was like, this is not sustainable. This is not fun. And then when you want to cut, you got to count all your macros and calories. Like one thing I'm thinking of discussing in an upcoming video is, over the last like 2 or 3 months here, as I've been cutting down, I haven't been tracking my food. I've been weighing my food. And until the last month here, I haven't been doing cardio. I've just been eyeing and guesstimating all my food and mixing it with fasting days and doing daily intermittent fasting, and just having like OMAD. I don't do OMAD only one meal a day. It's usually like 2 medium to large size meals. But yeah, there are some days where I just go get 2 burritos, slam them in an hour, hour and a half, and that's all I will eat that day. But yeah. Phoenix Rises says, I agree. We wouldn't be here if we didn't adapt. 100%. But yeah, so this is probably maybe actually, I'm going to highlight this right now and put it in my notes. We're going to dive into the study in another video or live stream. But yeah, let's pop over here. I want to see what's going on with Frank Tufano with this eye surgery thing. What is up with his eyes?
An eye update. Frank, give us an eye update. Frank, give us an eye update. My eyes are fucking crooked. What am I supposed to say? You guys are ridiculous.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. At least he's open about it. I don't want to shit on anyone. I'm not here to like rip on anyone. I just thought that was funny.
So let me actually put my phone down somewhere, because this is going to be a little bit of an explanation. But long story short, it's almost 2 a.m. We have a 5:45 a.m. check-in at New York Eye and Ear for a surgery to correct my cross eyes. Going back a little bit, about a month and a half after the surgery, I was kind of like sketched out.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't handle watching things on 1x speed. I was trying to be nice and do it out of etiquette for you guys, but I gotta go 2 speed. This is too slow.
I mean, you guys noticed I was kind of cross-eyed. I was worried it wasn't going to fix itself, although I was optimistic. I started scheduling appointments to see other doctors, and New York Eye and Ear is kind of like the most health insurance is, and that's close to me, and that makes the most sense out of everything. So went to see a few different optometrists, and they basically told me I had strabismus, which is misalignment of the eyes, which is caused by like a muscle imbalance, because there's 4 muscles basically. Well, I'm not sure on that, but I think there's like 4 muscle areas that attach the eye, top, bottom, left, and right. And if one is tighter than the other, or one is looser than the other, it can cause the eyes to be crossed in certain directions. I hope the lighting's okay, but I don't really care. So it could be up, down, left, right. And for me, it's weird because after that surgery, both of my eyes are pointing inward. So whatever the plastic surgeon did caused both of my eyes to point inward. And after I went to the New York doctors and they confirmed I had strabismus, I asked those New York doctors, hey, how often have you seen this after orbital decompression? They said it was very rare.
Jesus. Are you serious? He went to go get eye surgery and the doctor fucked it up and both his eyes are pointing inward. What the? Oh my God. I've been considering LASIK for a long time, but I'm always like, I gotta see a little bit more with these lasers. But holy fuck, man. Imagine that. Imagine going to get your eye surgery done and you get out and your eyes are fucked up and you're like, oh, it'll go away in a day or two, and it stays. Holy cow, man. Jeez. That's crazy. Are you serious?
So then, after speaking to them, I had my follow-up consultation with the plastic surgeon. So just to get the timeline correct, a month and a half, I'm like, okay, maybe something's wrong here. So, and then at the 2-month point, I was seeing the New York doctors, and then I had my follow-up with the plastic surgeon at 3 months. So I didn't like schedule anything or want to get any surgeries, because at that 2-month point, the New York doctor basically told me I had to get surgery to fix it, because it was severe enough that it was not going to correct itself. But I said, okay, hold on, let's see what the plastic surgeon says. Hopefully something optimistic. And he basically told me that he never saw this happen before in both eyes. He did say that he has had patients that have had issues in one eye. He has had patients that had to get strabismus surgery in one eye, but not like this. And from what I looked up, if people get orbital decompression, there's a 15% chance of a misalignment. He was giving me statistics saying there's a 3% chance. Now, he never told me I would be cross-eyed. He told me I had a chance of double vision. He did not mention that I would also be cross-eyed, which might have deterred me from getting the surgery. But I'm assuming what he was saying was in 3% of his procedures, that was his personal, I guess you would say, success or failure rate with patients having issues with eye misalignment, which compared to medical literature that I've read, the medical literature was much higher. But the thing is, if he's telling me 3% of his cases had misalignment in one eye, what's 3% of 3%? I did the math once. It's I don't remember exactly, but it's something crazy. It's like 0.1% chance that both of my eyes would have been misaligned, which.
This is so crazy. Like, oh my God. Okay, I want to skip up here a little bit.
That esotropy can be fixed on its own. And more importantly, everything past about 3 feet in front of me, I see 2 of, which is not easy. It's my vision is very messed up. It's very difficult to drive. It's, it's confusing. It's hard to do, even just my day-to-day tasks. And I definitely don't like look. I don't make eye contact with people anymore because I know my eyes are fucking. I don't like making eye contact with people anymore. So hopefully we got it fixed today. I'm not too upset about it because it's not a crazy procedure. It has a very high success rate. It can be done again. It's nothing insane. It's not, it's not a crazy insane thing to get done. So that's enough. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Back from surgery. Okay, let's see what's going on here. This is nuts, man. Oh my God. That's insane. Are you serious? Man, Frank Tufano is such a great human experiment, like just documenting his life like this. Not many people are open like this. Transparent. It's awesome. It's
Never thought I was going to die so certainly in my life, but we'll save that story after the eye update. So I just got home from the surgery. Let me get inside so you guys can see a little better. It's about 2 p.m. Should have been home at 1 p.m., but well, and that explanation is part of the taxi story. My eyes are like really dry, a little irritated. I'm blinking a lot. I'm definitely going to go try to lay down after I eat something. Just hopefully the irritation goes away. So I think you guys can kind of tell. Operating on my right eye. My right eye is straight, I think. A little swollen, but right eye is straight. And left eye is not the one they operated on. Oh, this looks kind of funky, man. Is it just swollen? Yeah, I think it's just swollen. I think it's a little swollen. But so what's going to happen is, I'm just going over here, look at the mirror real quick. What's going to happen is, now that the right eye is straight, and more importantly, I can see straight, I don't have double vision anymore. The left eye should correct itself over the next 3 weeks, and both of my eyes should be straight. So this is definitely not an indicator of what it's going to look like. We'll wait 2 or 3 weeks. I trust this doctor more than the previous one, and it should be good. So,
my God, man, this is fascinating. Okay, so you said in 3 weeks it should have healed up. That was a month ago. So let's go see a more recent one and see if it fixed. This is insane. Do you guys follow Frank Tufano? Do you know who he is? Do you guys have any suggestions who I should go look at, who we should follow along? So yeah, I think I did check in on this, and he looks so sad and depressed in this video. Okay, we're going to watch the most recent one, and then maybe we'll go back to what I currently ate in a day.
82% of...
I'm surprised I haven't gotten an ad blocker comment yet.
If you need help getting more listings, here's what you need to know. Our company will guarantee you get listings in the first 30 days using...
What's up, guys? We've made it another week down at Frankie's Free Range Meat, and I am in awfully high spirits considering I don't see any Native American princesses, no Russian girls to tie me up in their castle in Moscow.
no trio of Colombians. Hey, listen, I've lost my mind at
His
this
eye
point.
still does look a little crooked, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
My day's been a little off. Someone stopped by a few hours. Some guy I knew from New York, so I was chatting a bit. Didn't get any work done, and on top of that, Shopify is down for some reason. Like I can't print out some orders on the non-meat businesses. So, like I still got all the meat and egg orders ready to go, but like organ supplements and some food stuff. Hopefully, it's working by tomorrow. I mean, this has actually never happened ever. This ban on the business, but it's weird. Like, wouldn't Shopify know that they're not selling any shipping labels over the weekend because their system isn't working? And I don't want to get too much into that. Tried like multiple browsers, logged in and out, tried everything, different stores, same issue. So, you know, sometimes issues with the business are bad. Sometimes they're really bad. Granted, I could still individually print the orders up, but that'd be a lot of work. So nothing new this week on the.
So yeah, it does look like it's getting better in the eye, but it still for sure looks a little messy there. But maybe in a future live stream, we'll check back in on Frank Tufano. Let's go back to the main feed and just see what else is going on here. Again, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I haven't been on the Hungarian Experiment YouTube page in a long time, and I don't even know what I've been following, who I've been following, what I should check out here. Sam Sulek is definitely going to be a human experiment we take a look at some point in the future, but he's pretty mainstream, so maybe we'll check out that video here in a sec. More plates, more dates when he is on Joe Rogan's podcast. The Trend Twins. Do you guys follow the Trend Twins? I haven't really looked into these guys. I've just seen their kind of like viral stuff and know about them. And they seem just like they're just trying to get as swollen big as possible. It's great. You need people like that. You need guys like that, right? Like, it's maybe not the best thing or the healthiest thing, but you need guys like that who are just going for it. They're just going all in. Oh, look, Vegan Gains is live. I haven't checked out Vegan Gains in a long time. Let's see what Vegan Gains is saying. You guys follow Vegan Gains?
Yeah, he's still. It seems like he's still eating quite a bit of red meat. That's really fucking dumb. I can understand having taste preferences for certain foods, but like the amount of red meat this guy eats is just kind of fucking nuts. Like every day.
One that's closer to my workouts, I'll have a 93.7, which is a lot leaner in general. We've got Lundberg rice. This is my primary.
Yeah, what a jackass. Tristan Lee is just a selfish fucking jackass. It's the only reason anybody eats meat. It's just because they're a selfish fucking cunt.
Just the tip of the iceberg of.
Oh my god! But so he'll do impressions for $10, song requests, twerk for $50. Wow, I don't know. It sounds kind of desperate to me.
250,000 views, even though it's really.
Her face annoys me.
Yeah,
I don't think I can watch that video. She's just too annoying.
Recent, and this one was a bit different for a few reasons. First of all, it was maybe the first time I've seen the comment section just like almost entirely support her and not just be like, you did it wrong.
This guy is just so negative. I can't watch any more Vegan Gains. Sorry, bro. Oh my god, PewDiePie. I haven't watched a PewDiePie video in so long. You guys follow and watch PewDiePie?
This is why I
There was a good probably 6 months early on in my YouTube career. Not even early on, probably like when I was deep into it. I was already a couple of years into it where I just started watching PewDiePie. He is just such a good, genuine, wholesome person. Like, he's just a great human being. I recently watched like one of his vlogs where he was like walking around Japan with his wife and his newborn child, and it was very cute, like very like you wouldn't expect this dude would be a gigantic YouTuber. But let's check out a little bit of PewDiePie, see what he's saying. I'm almost done my food here too, and then we'll review this. If you go high carb, you better go really high, like we're doing here for the Hormozy experiment. Let's check out a little PewDiePie, and then we'll get into the article.
You know that thing that goes down the stairs? How does it know how to do that? These are pretty cool, but other than that, there's not much you can do with it. How wrong I was! Chinese man studied the slinky. While men in West have been busy diddly-daddling, Chinese men have perfected the slinky. It has shot that kid in the head. It is decided. I will master the art of bending the slinky to my own will.
And he's funny.
I'm going to practice the slinky for 2 weeks. How hard can it be? Day one, I got my slinky. I didn't really know how to use it, but I knew it would make Björn laugh. So I decided I'm going to master the slinky to once again impress my son with an epic performance that will blow his mind. Day two, I practiced the slinky shot. Day three, I try to learn the hyper beam. How does it work? I practiced the hyper beam. You're supposed to be able to move it.
Grown man just practicing a slinky for a week. Hey, it's an experiment. I'll take that. Yo, here, we're studying an experiment unfold right in front of us.
From one to another, I was not getting it. Day five, I started practicing throwing the slinky.
All right, I'm not gonna watch a 9-minute video about him playing with the slinky. See what else he's been saying. Oh yeah, he's doing rock climbing and stuff. Yeah, these were some of the videos I checked out recently with PewDiePie here, where I was like, man, this dude, he's just a good, wholesome dude. He just wants to do good and be good. Now, it's obviously a video created by him, so it's hard to know if it's 100% legitimate, but I believe that about PewDiePie. I believe he's a good, I just believe he can be good. So we're going to get into this article. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you being here. So today we're going to dive into this article about if you go high carb, you better go really high. And the reason we're looking at this article right now, and the studies within this article, is because Alex Hormozy based this challenge, this 6-week workout and bulking program, off of this study in a way about going very high in carbs and keeping your fat levels very low. And I'm going to be taking on this experiment. I'm going to be doing the Hormozy experiment here on my YouTube channel, 6 weeks where I'm going to be eating 800 grams of carbs a day, 2 workouts, 6 days a week. It's going to be very intense. And in this video here, what I wanted to do is dive into the study that he covers about it. So if you guys are interested for yourself, go check out this article Alex Hormozy wrote. It's in the description box below and here. So he links the study here. And I've read the study in the past, but I wanted to dive into it again. And we're going to look at why it might actually be beneficial to go really high in carbs and keep your fat levels low. And if your goal is to build muscle. If your goal is to build muscle, potentially doing low carb is not a good thing. And I believe that. When I eat carbs, when I'm working out and doing intermittent fasting and living my life and my lifestyle, I feel better. all around in general, but I feel like my lifts and my strength in the gym is better. So we're going to dive into this article and see what some science has to say about it and what this article has to say. So this was written by Adele Musa, March 5th, 2012. If you go high carb, you better go really high. 7 meals per day, more than 800 grams of carbs, less than 50 grams of fat, and 1,000 calories over maintenance, and still lean gains. I'm going to take a little sip of water before we dive into this. If the term low carb flu was not already used to refer to the allegedly transient state of weakness and general malaise when people are switching from a regular, usually high carb, to a low, let alone no carb diet, I would have used it to refer to an infectious brain disease. A disease that has befallen more and more formerly healthy, lean physical culturists who are now complaining about chronic fatigue syndrome and adrenal burnout. It is a disease that is, yet again, the consequence of black and white thinking and one size fits it all solutions. And its main feature is this little man in your ear telling you, mind you, all carbs are created, not equal, but evil. If you had told one of the forefathers of physical culture that he was not allowed to have oats with his raw eggs and that the milk he was adding had way too many carbs, what do you think he would have said? I guess he either would have laughed at or pitied you, depending on whether you are already in the chronic fatigue phase of low carb plus high intensity training or not. But he would certainly have complained if you had taken his oatmeal, his milk, and his rice and substituted it with bacon, butter, and cream. After all, he would have these whenever he felt like it as well. So this article, for the most part, is kind of going against high-fat diets, or maybe even just carnivore diet as well too, because carnivore, you're kind of mainly just stuck with protein and high fat, right? So there's always this battle between the two. Like, what's the most optimal diet? What's the best way to eat? We're just diving into seeing what this has to say. But this is about trying to put on as much muscle as we possibly can naturally. So might be very different than trying to live a long and a healthy life, right? So image one, this picture of Lee Priest in the off season is a symbol for the classic bulking versus dieting cycles. Yet, while the artificially enhanced IFBB pros use this practice to get more muscular every year, many amateurs use their bulking phase as an excuse to go totally havoc on food. And the results are identical to those of their sedentary peers: obesity, diabetes, heart disease. All carbs are not created evil, and how evil they are largely depends on their consumer. Interesting. But enough of these preambles. Let's face it. If you are already lean and want to stay sane while training heavy to maximize your gains and performance, you need carbs. So that's a very important thing here. If you're trying to lose a lot of fat, like you're 50 pounds overweight, you're trying to lose a lot of fat, it might be beneficial to cut the carbs so you can help get that fat off, so you can get to a lean state where you're producing hormones naturally. I personally believe, and looking into studies in the past, if you're overweight, it negatively affects your hormonal production. So it might be beneficial to cut fat and get to a lean state if you're obese or overweight, and then start on a healthy path. So should you start working out first? Should you start taking all these protein shakes and doing all this stuff? Like, maybe you should consider cutting fat and getting rid of that fat first and focusing on that to get healthy. But this is if you are already lean and want to stay sane while training heavy to maximize your gain and performance, you need carbs. And while it certainly depends on the individual how much of those allegedly fattening molecules you can / should ingest on a daily basis, a recently published study from, I don't know why there's question marks there, but suggests that as a young 18 to 35-year-old, yet still somewhat experienced strength trainee, so under 2 years of training experience, you can hardly get enough of carbs. So please note that both diets were low in fat, but the difference in carb intake was not as pronounced as the scientists who keep mentioning the 4-to-8 ratio make it appear. So this is macronutrient composition of the habitual normal carb and high carb diets. Fats, carbohydrates, protein. Okay, I don't really understand what I'm seeing here. Macronutrient composition of the habitual normal carb and high carb diets. Yeah, you're showing me the differences between the ratios of what they eat. Okay, I'm not too sure what that graph means, but all right. So in their randomized crossover study, Mendez Neto and his colleagues put their 11 male subjects. So again, we're starting off with 11 people. That's not a strong study, in my opinion. We're going to continue to dive into this and play it off like this study is 100% legitimate, but I don't think studies that are done in such short with such very small sample groups are very good, but I digress. And his colleagues put their 11 male subjects on one out of the 2 dietary regimen, the macronutrient content of which you can infer from figure 1. Okay, I see. We're going into what they're about to talk about with that graph. So while both diets had an identical protein content of 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight, they differed by a factor of 2 times with regard to the carbohydrate to fat ratio. Okay, I get that graph now. 5 of the subjects started in the normal carb group. This is my appellation. The scientists simply called it D1. Consumed 3,200 calories from carbohydrates and 800 calories from fat, and switched to the high carb group, 3,500 calories from carbs and 414, so a reduction in fat in the second week. While the other 6 started with the high carb diet and switched to the normal carb diet in weeks 3 to 4 of the study. All right, so we got 2 different studies going on here, starting from normal carb and then going to high carb, and then 6 who started in high carb and switched to the normal carb diet. So let's see what happened with this. So in view of the bulkaholic total caloric intake of 4,400 calories a day, remember the subjects are drug-free trainees with an average body weight of 77 kilograms. What's 77 kilograms to pounds? 170. All right, about 10 pounds lighter than me right now. It was probably wise that the subjects had to consume 7 meals spread relatively equally across the day. And while there's no exact information on the composition and size of these meals, we could speculate that on a per serving base, the meals of the normal carb group contained approximately 115 grams of carbs and 13 grams of fat, while those of the high carb group contained approximately 125 grams of carbs and 7 grams of fat, in other words. This makes the difference between the groups appear much smaller than the 4 versus 8 carb to fat ratios to which Mendez et al. Keep referring to in their evaluation of the data. More importantly, though, it makes clear that both diets were essentially low-fat diets, but one was just lower in fat than the other. Okay, eat, and don't forget to train and sleep. During the whole 28-day study period, the subjects performed identical, obviously with different weights, workouts, the main features of which were as follows. So training days per week, 4, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, A, B split, A, chest, back, okay, calf and abdomen, then B day was arms, shoulders, legs, exercises and sets, 3 exercises of 4 sets, only 2 exercises for arms and shoulders, repetition, they pyramided down, pyramiding up in weight to failure. So started, lighter weight, higher reps, and work down and up in weight and down in reps, 15 reps for calves, 20 to 30 for abs. So they did significant workout. There's some studies I've shown in the past where I analyzed like Dr. Bio-Lane's article where he wrote an article, and maybe we'll cover this again, and he used scientific studies that to discuss growth hormone that is literally on like one bicep exercise, and it's done on like 80-year-old men when he's trying to talk about young growth hormone for young men. So this study, at least if this article is taking from the study, they did significant workout. Like they did a good workout. Wasn't crazy, but they did a good workout. So let's see the results. Rest period 60 to 90 seconds between sets, 2 to 3 between exercises. So they had a pretty solid routine. Just as the scientists state, a classic bodybuilding split aimed at maximal muscle hypertrophy. And if you take a look at what those trainees, remember, we're not talking about beginners here, achieved within 4 weeks, it is undebatable that this type of training works well, as long as you make sure you go really high carb. All right, so let's take a look. So figure 2, changes in body weight, muscle, and fat mass during the different phases of the 28-day study period and respective 24-hour nitrogen balance in the normal high carb phases. Wow. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. If this study is legit, again, it was done on 11 people split into 2 different groups. So it's really done on like 4 or 5 people who went the high carb way. That's very interesting. There's a drastic difference between normal carb, the muscle mass that was able to be attained in the 28 days compared to the high carb group. So let's continue on. Now, you can certainly argue that a real low carb diet, i.e. one where you eat 120 grams of carbs per day, not in each one of 7 meals, would produce even more favorable results. Or that the study design was, despite the crossover, somewhat questionable, as we've been calling question 2 here. All that are certainly valuable objections, but that does not change that with, what the heck is he saying here? Or if you will, despite eating 1,000 calories a day over their maintenance diet and 7 meals with more than 125 grams of carbs in each of them every day, mass gains in the high. This guy needs to edit his article. This is ridiculous. Mass gains in the high carb phases of the trial were greater and the fat accumulation lower. This led to an average 8+% increase in the ratio of lean to fat mass in the high carb phases and a -7% reduction of the latter in the normal carb phases of the 28-day study period. Now, you tell me which of those recomposition effects you like better. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Let's read that again. This led to an average 8+% increase in the ratio of lean to fat mass in the high carb phases and a -7% reduction in the latter of the normal carb phases. Bulking still is a questionable idea, but if you do it, you better do it right. So is the main message of this study that low carb will make you lose muscle and gain fat? The answer to this question is easy, no. And the reason should be obvious. There was no low carb study in this group. The actual main message of the study is thus that what has worked for generations of bodybuilders, i.e. a low fat, high carb diet, still appears to be the optimal to bulk rapidly. Note, if I believed in the lipid hypothesis, I would like to refer you to the statistical more pronounced increases in total and LDL in the high carb group, blah, blah, blah. So it looks like he's just checking in on something. Whether the whole concept of bulking by increasing your caloric intake by 33% for a short time is still state of the art is yet another question, and whether a more reasonable dietary regimen with a caloric surplus of max 500 calories a day, an overall higher protein intake but not protein only, and a carbohydrate intake of 40 grams per meal would not elicit less rapid yet more favorable recomposition effects will yet have to be the subject of another study, about the results of which you will obviously read right here at the Subversity first. Do I even have to mention that? All right, cool. So for the most part, what I get across from this is they did a study where they had 11 people, and of those 11 people, they took 4 to 5 of them, put them in one group where one group ate normal carb, and then halfway through the program went to high carb. And then the other half of them went from high carb to normal carb in the middle of this 28-day cycle. Now, again, 28 days is not very long. We're doing 42, so we're doing 6 weeks. 28 days is like 4 weeks to really see and say anything about muscle mass and muscle growth. Like, I think that's very questionable to say and do. But if this study is legit and there wasn't just some freaks of nature there who got great results or something, right? There is a significant increase by being high carb in regards to the amount of muscle mass. So what this guy, and I think even Alex Hormozy is trying to get across here, is that if you're going to bulk and you're going to take the time to put on fat and focus on really trying to put on muscle, what's the best, most optimal way to do that? Instead of going potentially just in a slight caloric surplus, it might be better to go in a really high or 1,000 calories over in caloric surplus. But instead of a big portion of that being from fat, it's actually focusing more on carbs. That is the basis of, I think, the theory here in the article in this study. If you're going to bulk, should you go high carb or should you just go higher in calories? And I did this experiment on myself. I only made it to day 32 or 34 back in November of 2022. This crazy Hormozy experiment that we're going to be starting on May 1st here. And I gained he gained 35 pounds in 6 weeks in the 32 days. So I still had about 10 days to go, but I gained 16 pounds. So I gained half a pound each day. It's pretty crazy. Now, I personally believe that I did get some muscle growth from that. And I got some amazing strength growth from that. Now, I also got very sick. I went and was recording at an event, and a lot of people, I think, got sick from that event. There was a lot of people around each other. I was also working like 14 to 16-hour days running around recording and documenting this event and taking pictures. And that was for 3 days that I was like on tilt the whole time. So I got very sick after. But I believe if I could have kept going, I would have gained probably 20 to maybe 24 pounds in that time. And what I noticed for myself, because if you guys go watch the video that I put out where I dive into detail about the whole workout and the diet, you are doing 6 days a week. You're doing in the morning 5 to 7 sets of 7 reps of bench press and 7 sets of 25 reps of leg press. So every day you're doing 150 reps of leg press, and you're doing that 6 times a week. And every third day you're going up 50 pounds on the leg press and 5 to 10 pounds on the bench press. And then you still have afternoon workouts. You still have a full workout later in the day. And what I thought, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, because how am I going to recover if I'm doing leg press every single day? But I believe because I was such in a high carb intake, and because I was hitting those muscle groups every single day, that, excuse me, apologize about this. But I was recovering so fast. And I'm excited to share and show that again, because I was shocked that I was able to wake up the next day and the next day and the next day. And after 32 days, with only every week a 1-day rest day, and still doing a whole 2 days a week where you're still doing a leg day as well too, how fast I was recovering. And after, my strength has gone up drastically on the leg press. I feel like my squats are so much better than they were before. And I'm really excited to push it to the test and see what happens with this. So I think this is legit. I think this is like a hack. This is like a cheat code to bulking and getting muscle fast. But it's not really a cheat, and it's not a hack, because you have to actually put in the work. You have to actually do all the volume. You got to eat all the food. And I think it's legit. I'm excited to try it and really document and share this experience here with you guys. But again, that was the basis of this video and this kind of live stream here, was looking at this article and the study behind going really high carb and if it's beneficial for bulking. So that's going to be it here for the live stream. I really appreciate having you guys here along the journey. If you guys here to hang out and react, let me know if you're watching this later or if you were in the stream. If you guys enjoyed this, you want to do this more where we just sit and look at stuff, and pull up what's going on in the world and react to it and cover different scientific studies and different articles. I'd love to do that with you guys if you guys are interested. We have a comment that came in. We'll take a quick look at that and then we'll wrap things up here. So Afghan Rebel said, hey, bro, are you still doing marketing for Mike, the guy who has a camping ground / resort outside of London, and the limo guy who has a real estate fund? Not Mike. His name was Matt. And the limo guy who has real estate fund, Jeff. I don't work for them personally anymore. They're Matt's YouTube channel is I'm helping run and manage it. He's not really a part of it anymore. But I'm running and managing the channel with a guy named Adam Martin, and we put out content on that channel. We have sponsors on the channel, but no, I don't work directly with Matt and Jeff Weibo anymore. I have a bunch of other clients that I work for and run and manage their social media right now. So that's what I'm doing in my life. But yeah, appreciate the question. Appreciate you hopping here in the live stream. Hope you were still in the live stream, but yeah. Once again, guys, appreciate having you here. May 1st, the Hormozi experiment begins. 800 grams of carbs a day, 2 workouts a day, 6 days a week. I'm going to get fat. I'm going to be putting on some serious muscle and some serious size. I'm definitely going to be putting on fat with this. But then the goal is the next 2 months after to shred down, get to the same body weight I am now, and see if we can notice any noticeable muscle growth from doing this experiment. And if we can, then this shows that this is kind of legit. Like, people are bulking for months on end when it's like, hey, maybe you should, if again, I don't recommend anyone do this experiment, so maybe I should question what I'm saying here. But if you're someone who's been lifting for a long time and you want to break through plateaus and you want to challenge and push yourself and you're planning on bulking, but you want to really go for it and really, really do it, this might be a very interesting way to do it. I'm going crazy, 800 grams of carbs. I'm really going to push it. But I think, you might not even need to go that high. Like Alex said in his article, depending on how big you are, like I'm a few inches shorter than him. Depending on your size, you don't maybe need to eat 800 grams of carbs, because you're going to see like 800 grams of carbs. Like, it's like a cheat day every day for 42 days. It's pretty intense. It's like 4,500 calories, and it's going to be crazy. But yeah, that's it, guys. Appreciate having you here. We'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, get ready. May 1st, the Hormozi experiment begins. Thanks so much for watching. I am the Hungarian Experiment.
He's back! He's back! He's back! He's back! Dude, he's back! He's back! He's back! He's back! He's back! I'm back, baby! I'm back! 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 Back!